Welcome to another edition of Aspire to Inspire and Embrace the Power production. I'm your host, Dr. Jennifer Blalock, Chief Energy Officer of Ingenuity Solutions, and I'm so excited about our guest tonight who aspires to inspire in so many ways in Jacksonville and really throughout all of Florida and the United States. Dr. Shanna Carter, the founder and CEO of Crumpin' for Success, Inc., one of her many initiatives, but the one we're going to focus on for tonight. And actually, the first reason I ever met you, do you remember? We were at the Nonprofit Center,
yes,
in Jesse Val DuPont, and you were sort of just in the initial stages of formulating your company. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what Crumpin' for Success is and why you were inspired to create it.
Okay. Again, I'm Dr. Shanna Carter. So Crumpin' for Success actually started on the couch while I was watching a movie with my daughter. We was watching a movie called Rise, and it was about Tommy the Clown from South Central LA. And so just looking at that movie and being inspired by what he was doing with those young people, showing them how to use their aggression and get out their aggression in a positive way. And so right then on the couch, we just came up with Crumpin' for Success. And so it's taken its own form since then. But one of the important reasons why was because if you looked on a scale of at risk,
sure,
we could check off all those boxes for my own daughter. And so I knew it was so many other kids just like her but they didn't have parents that would advocate for them,
yes,
or people to actually want to bring out those great things about them. So I said, you know what, let me not just help my own kid and advocate for her, but let me help other children as well. And so
by the way, I know him, the redhead, the gentleman, what's his name in the red right there?
That is Donovan.
Donovan, yes. Oh my God, you just made me think of Donovan. I got to check in on him, see how he's doing. But keep going. Hey, Donovan.
Yeah, so he's doing good. I'll actually be at their house tomorrow. So he went through the leadership program, and so that's part of what we do. So I recommended him to the leadership program, and he got in the mayor's leadership program.
Yes.
So yes,
that's awesome. So you work with youth and develop them through leadership, but then you also have other elements of it as well. And I loved what you shared about, those risk factors, right? And that risk factor, it's interesting when you are an at-risk youth, like you were talking about, I was, right? I should have been, I had all the indicators. My mom had an 8th grade education, single parent household below the poverty level, right? Mental illness in the house, like lots of different things, abusive household. And, I've always thought there, but for the grace of God, go I. And that's what has inspired me to work with youth and individuals who didn't have an easy route. And I love that inspired you, to move in that direction, because so many young people, but also adults, you also work with adults. You and I both have, found our way to work with individuals who are either currently incarcerated or formerly incarcerated. Tell us a little bit about what Crumpin' for Success, how it fits into that area as well.
Yes. So we started in the juvenile facilities. I was thankful for the regional director, Billy Stark. And that encounter came so unique. I was at a conference in Orlando doing a workshop for DJJ. And someone told me they wanted to give him my card, and then they didn't get a chance to. And then I met somebody else, and they was like, "Oh, he would love this program." Somebody I know, and I'm asking who, and they say Mr. Stark. So he got us into the facility. So we started with the juvenile facilities in Jacksonville, and one of the things that we really wanted to focus on, we knew our children financial stability, and the fact that they're committing a lot of these crimes and doing various risk-taking behaviors because of finances,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're trying to be the quote unquote man of the house and help
Sure.
out and take care of things. And so we started with an entrepreneur program and a culinary program in the juvenile facilities. And then we veered from just doing that until working with the men that are incarcerated, because what affects our children affects our parents. What affects our parents
Absolutely.
affect our
Yeah.
children. And so now we want the whole family dynamic. So with working with those in the jail, if we help those men become entrepreneurs, if they have children, now their children can be a part of our program on the outside while we're helping
Love it.
develop them while they're on the inside.
I absolutely love it. And it's interesting. Individuals who are formerly incarcerated, even though we do, have various campaigns to do things like remove the box, right, from applications, it's very, very difficult to find full-time employment for a livable wage in a career trajectory, not just a job, for anyone who has any sort of criminal record, right? And so what I love and what I've come to appreciate, and you certainly do such a great job, is helping people understand that entrepreneurialism is a great venue for individuals to take some of the skills they already have and transfer those without maybe necessarily going to college because they don't have time. They've got families, or they're young people who maybe school wasn't for them right away, right? But they need to make money, and they need to make money in a legal way that will help them achieve financial stability. So tell us about the entrepreneurial program that you've just started. I know many of you know I do work in literacy, and so we partnered up, which was a great opportunity. And we purchased a book, and then you've done kind of built a whole, I know you have multiple curriculum, but tell us a little bit about the curriculum and the different things they learn and they do through your program.
Yes. So that is one of the biggest highlights of my week, is when I get to go to the jail. So we do the jail downtown, the pre-detention facility, but we also do Montgomery. So we have a
Okay.
cohort at each location. And I'm proud to say that we are one of the top programs, highlighted programs at the jail. Everybody's talking about it. But with that program, it's 12 weeks.
Okay.
And so I want to make sure people understand, like, we're not just talking about entrepreneurship. So we work on the mental health part. We work on life skills. We work on, in our sessions, how can you take what you're learning now building a relationship with your children? How
Sure.
can you include your children or your wife or your partner into what you're doing? So we give them all those type of tools also. So I have men, some of the things that we do. So we go through 12 weeks, they get a website, they get logos, they get everything to start their business, a plan. But then also we do a pitch competition, we do an ice cream challenge. So they're making ice cream in the jail. Like,
That's
who
awesome.
thought that they would be making ice cream in the jail? But even with that activity, now I show them how you can do that same activity at home with your children, building
Love
that
it.
relationship with your children, because a lot of the men that come through our program, because they've been in and out of jail so many times,
Yeah.
their children haven't seen them be consistent in anything positive. And that's what they're saying. Now I have something that my children can be proud of. And I know you talked about with them trying to get a job for a livable wage, but
Yes.
when they come out, sometimes it's not even just the job. They can't find housing. I'll give you
Absolutely.
a quick example. Is one that we had to come out, and to see men be vulnerable and in tears, that they can't be on the outside. They can't show other people
Yeah.
those expressions. But he has a family that, while he was gone, they didn't have what they need. So no one has anywhere to live. He can't find housing. He doesn't have a job yet. Plus he has a child, plus no health insurance. So all of those different things piled on top of each other. The
Right.
job is just one area of it,
That's
So, but if he doesn't have all the other tools or transportation, any of those things, how can he get to the job? So those are the things that we do in the program. Then they graduate. I'm excited about that part because I decided this time we was gonna have cap and gowns.
Yes.
It wasn't gonna be in an inmate shirt because the last time I'm trying to take the inmate emblem off the shirt on the pictures, that didn't work. So I said we will have cap and gowns. They had honors
I saw
cords
that.
for,
Yeah.
so but to see all those men that said they never wore a cap and gown, this was the first time. And to see some of them crying and
Mhm.
just never knew that they would come to jail and be graduating from something. Like one man said, I've been in and out of prison and jail for 25 years of my life. And this is the first time I've completed anything. The first
Wow.
time, so it's a transformation and not just about
Yes.
entrepreneurship because they may never finish their business, but they have the concepts and the ability to treat somebody else's business great because they know how to do it for themselves. They know what it takes now.
Right.
So that's what we really do. We are transforming lives and not just about entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. And I know in the juvenile facility, the young men you're working with, they are reading the 50 Cent book. Tell us about how they've responded to the book.
Well, so we have that, but then also the men have the book also.
Oh, they do? Okay, great.
Yes, when I say it was hard to get my books back because it's for them to read and then at the end they supposed to give the book back. They
Okay.
did not want to give the book back. Then
Wow.
but what happened is not only that, some of them this was the first time that they've read a book in
Wow.
years.
Wow.
And then they were giving it around to
To
everybody
other
else who
people.
wanted to read it. And it was like, okay, so now they have a domino effect of literacy
Right.
in the jail, like with people
That's
that have
wonderful.
never read a book. So I said, okay, I guess it'll be okay. But it was hard getting those books back for the next group of people. But definitely they loved the book. They could quote it. Some of them are the ones that were like the trailblazer for their group.
Sure.
They actually was quoting the book in their speeches. Like these
Oh,
men,
wow.
it was amazing. Like to see men go from not public speaking
Right.
to now you would have thought they've been public speaking for years in 12 weeks. So it was just it's phenomenal every week. And I always tell people you can come to a session and see what we do.
I love it. I love it. And, as somebody who has a formerly incarcerated person who's very special to me in my life, who just was released last week and is fingers
Yay.
crossed doing okay, really, really staying motivated. That motivation is really, really hard when they're in, right?
Yes.
And I so admire and appreciate your willingness to go in there. It's an uncomfortable place for a lot of people. If you've never been into a jail or a prison, even as a visitor, right? It's not easy for us. It can be depressing. It can be overwhelming. It can feel hopeless. And so, what you're doing by giving them a structure, by talking to them about ideas and helping them communicate and convey their value is invaluable.
Yeah.
So, what again, I know you had the idea on the couch, but you've really, I know everyone that's watching can see you light up talking about it. What do you think specifically it is that has inspired you about the work that you're doing, particularly in this space, working with those who are incarcerated and helping them as they transition out?
Because I've known a lot of people, whether it's in my family,
Sure.
people that are close to me that have been incarcerated. My daughter, her dad was in prison for a while. And seeing those that I know that are close to me, how they were when they came out of prison. They didn't have the resources, they didn't
Sure.
have the help. Everyone that helped them get in trouble didn't help them when they came out. And so I really wanted to make sure that men understood that they were valuable.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, what I see even in there of what I'm having to do, some of the same things that my grandma did for everybody. her house was the house that everyone came to, that
Uh-huh.
she poured into every single person that stepped to the door. When you came in the door, you were no longer a visitor, you were family. And so just taking on that same attitude and spirit of who she was, and
Yeah.
to see from the juvenile facility, to see those young men feel like they were somebody because you encouraged them, you told them that they were valuable. They needed like a mother type spirit,
Sure.
most of
Sure.
them, and the men are like that too. So that's kind of what gave me that push to do it, was that mother type spirit. And then it just evolved. And one of the things that I do every session is, within the probably the first 5 weeks, I write in a card. Everyone gets a card from me, and I tell them exactly what I say God tell me to say, who they are, not
Yeah.
who you perceive or perceive to be, but exactly who you are, and to see
Sure.
the change. One of my young men from the juvenile facility, he has an invention, so we helped him got his invention. He's fully patented. It's in manufacturing. And I remember him telling me after he was released, he said, "I remember you saying it was 3 millionaires in our group." And I said, "It was." He said, "I knew you were talking about me." I didn't tell him I was talking about him, but he was one of the ones. And for those young men to say they still have those cards I gave
Yeah.
them, because nobody else told them that they believed in them.
Right.
Nobody else said, "What do you think?" Like, I don't let them ask me like, "What do you think I should do?" No, what do you think you should do? This is for you. This is, and for to see men, it's so hard for them to take their own ideas and believe in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I love it, because it's you. You created that. So I love it. I just help you expand it. And I help you
Of course.
expand your vision to be bigger than where it is small. And that's it. But it's all you." So it's that mother type spirit.
Well, but I think, in addition to the mother piece, you are, an accomplished businesswoman. You are an accomplished community leader, advocate. You run several businesses. I think it's beyond that too, just to have someone in their corner who has the business acumen, as a first generation professional. That's something, I really, again, no one in my house worked. I didn't know what it meant to be a professional. I didn't know about a lot of those other things, right? I didn't know about being an entrepreneur or starting my own business. I knew that, probably I'd have to get a job and those kind of things. So we accept all that we know, right? We gravitate toward the things we think we're capable of, and that's our comfort zone. So for a lot of them, the recidivism is because they don't have any other skills that they know how to make money from.
Yep.
You are giving them a new pathway to consider, and just even that inspiration or hope is so incredible. And I just want to applaud you for that and for doing that. And hopefully we will have you back and your executive director to talk about some of the legislative and advocacy work
Yes.
that I know you're doing up in Tallahassee and at the state capitol to help, transform lives in other ways. But as we come to a close, what do you want people to know about Crumpin' for Success? How can they get involved? Where can they find you?
So definitely we are here to bring people back to a place of transformation, especially those that are incarcerated, not just rehabilitation, but transformation. And so I just want people to know that our incarcerated people, our returning citizens, whether they juveniles or adult, they matter.
Absolutely.
And they can be the next person that can change your life. I learn something every week. I learn something that enhances my business from
Sure.
people that are incarcerated. They can find us at either Crumpin' for Success on every social media platform, or Breaking the Cycle. So for the program for those that are incarcerated is Breaking the Cycle. Also, if people have a loved one that is incarcerated here in Duval County, they can request our program on their tablet. To
Oh,
get in
okay.
our program, they just put in K4S and they can actually register to get in our program while they're still in the jail. Um, And we just hope people will, if they have it on their heart to volunteer, want to come out and see what we do. I can have a guest. Also, we always taking donations.
Yes.
Just to continue the programming, because most of our funding goes directly to programs.
Right.
So definitely, if they want to do any of those things, we are excited. We are actually opening our youth business model. So we do have a building on Golf Fair. So we're actually going to be cleaning up and renovating and doing those things. So if people want to come out and volunteer and help support us in various ways like that, they can just reach out to us on any social media platform.
Outstanding. And you could even do something as simple as donate a book.
Yes.
The 50-cent book on, I can't even remember the title of it now. I know you're still collecting titles because obviously it's a hot commodity. Everybody wants to read it, from the jailhouse to the internet. Everybody, it is a very good book. I had the opportunity to peruse it myself. But Dr. Carter, I just want to say, from the first time I met you, I knew that you were the real deal. You genuinely have such a servant's heart, a leader's heart, and you are out there doing the work, living the work. So thank you for all you do and for your commitment to aspiring to inspire individuals from all walks of life who are ready to elevate their life and go into a personal transformation that will change their life forever. So thank you so much. We are so excited that you were able to join us today. I know you're always busy, always doing something. But everybody, thank you for joining us. Please check out Crumpin' for Success online on all the social media platforms, in all the places. Follow them. You're going to get inspired. You're going to see wonderful pictures of real live work that they're doing, real lives that they're changing. And I almost don't want to leave you, but I know we'll have you back again. So everyone,
yes.
I'm Dr. Jennifer Blalock, Chief Energy Officer of Ingenuity Solutions, and your host of Aspire to Inspire and Embrace the Power Production. Thanks for joining us. Get out there, inspire others, share your heart. And thank you, Dr. Carter. Follow her, follow Crumpin' for Success, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.